3 are injured, 8 arrested after a fight during a protest in Garden Grove. And mail carriers deliver more than just good mail. Those stories, plus sports, weather, entertainment, and more from Orange County and the Southland coming up on the Southern California News Report. Yesterday, 3 people were injured and at least 8 arrested in Garden Grove after a motorist drove into a crowd of some 300 demonstrators. The protesters were protesting against a speech by the founder of the Minuteman Project. That's a citizens group which patrols the U.S.-Mexico border in an effort to stop illegal immigration. The demonstrators were at the Women's Civic Club of Garden Grove on Chapin Avenue about 7:30 p.m. The motorist had attended Gilchrist's speech and was leaving when protesters began hitting his van with placards and other objects. The driver, not immediately identified but did speak with a KCAL9 reporter, gunned his car engine, he says, to get away from the crowd. He was then arrested. According to authorities, the crowd grew increasingly boisterous following the injuries and began throwing soda cans at the Garden Grove, Anaheim, and CHP police officers. 8 were arrested and taken custody for felony assault. Oh, when Orange County Sheriff Mike Corona took office, and one of his top assistants deputized 86 friends, relatives, political contributors, and others, giving them badges, powers of arrest, in some cases guns. That did raise some eyebrows and change some things, since none of those people had apparently undergone background investigations, and some had not been trained. 3 years later, the state's Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training removed 86 of the reserve deputies from California's peace officer database, which meant the commission no longer recognized them as peace officers. 56 of those folks apparently still have their badges and ID cards, and 14 still have concealed weapons permits. Corona denies that these were political favors, but several recipients have ties to former Assistant Sheriff Donald Heidel, who established the reserve program for Corona. When asked about the situation, Corona responded by email, but had no follow-up answers. The National Association of Letter Carriers collected much more than just mail on their routes. No one seemed to mind. It was all in order to help stamp out hunger. That's Aaron Rivera unloading food from a mail truck. Garden Grove was one of 10,000 cities participating in the 13th annual Stamp Out Hunger Day. The National Association of Mail Carriers, the U.S. Postal Service, and other sponsors held the yearly food drive. Nationally, over the last 12 years, they've collected more than 500 million pounds of food.
What types of food are they collecting?
All kinds, perishable, canned goods, a little bit of everything, actually. We're getting all kinds of things, some dry goods, spaghetti, macaroni type things.
The food drive comes at a time when food banks need it the most. Due to the winter holidays, food begins to dwindle right about now for the needy. Last year, the event set a record for the largest one-day drive in the nation. Well, beginning on Monday, thousands of acres of open space will be closed to the public in the Southland. Orange County's fire season is here. The annual closure of 180,000 acres, which this year comes despite an unusually wet winter, puts many natural wilderness areas off limits to walkers, hikers, and campers. Parks and trails maintained by the state will remain open, but their use will likely be restricted according to the fire danger. This includes stretches from Brea to the Orange-LA County line all the way down to San Diego County, as well as more lining the east border of Orange County. Firefighters are asking the public to watch out for possible wildfires and exercise extreme caution. Homeowners living near natural vegetation are advised to clear dead and flammable material within 30 feet of structures while thinning vegetation and planting fire-resistant plants within the next 70 feet. You can contact a local fire department or go online for more ideas on those in those areas. Well, still to come, the experience of staying in a hospital for a kid doesn't have to be so depressing. That plus later in sports, we'll have surfing highlights and a look at one of the nation's top college baseball players right here in Orange County. Those stories and more straight ahead on your Southern California News Report.
crunches ever.
Introducing the Ab Lounge, scientifically designed to get you up off the floor, making old-fashioned crunches a thing of the past.